Hello, hello. Welcome to the live stream. I promised it'd be super exciting. And now that you're here, I can tell you that that was a lie. Haha, you're here now. So if you're here, say hello in the comment box. I've got a couple of questions already that some super smart people have dropped in early and just dropped off some questions, which we'll just have a look at. So Sega CD Universe asks, what's my favourite film which is either filmed or based on your area that you live in? I think I'm going to choose, I don't know if it's my favourite film, but I think it's the one that probably makes the sort of more interesting look of Scotland, which is Under the Skin, which I think shows both Glasgow off as well as some of the Highland areas as well. So yeah, Under the Skin. So let's see, we've got Fangirl here again. Now I'll be looking for a YouTube recommendation again. Hello, James. Good evening, Jordan. Hey, Josh. Andy, usual. What? Joel's here as well. Smile, you're in 4K. Oh no. Nostromo 80, hello. Movie Mad, hello. And Jeremy, all here. So I've got another question here that I'll just answer while I'm in the mood. Can you give me an idea of what region-free player to buy? You haven't been able to get the Blu-ray discs you want, noticing the titles are either Kino, Lorber, or Shout. So, in a rare moment of preparation, I should have something coming up. Let's see. Ta-da! Pretty much, if you're going to go region free, go to eBay, filter it down to buy it now, and just be wary to look out for this little ABC because lots of things like this one here, or say this one, it says DVD regions 1 to 6 multi-region, which is technically free but only for DVD. So you want the ones that are ABC, and the price will be over 100 but below 150. Any one of these players will do. They work perfectly well. Let's see what else we've got. Just watched a great exploitation from 1974. Open Season. Ken, that isn't the one about the man that goes for revenge for what happened to his daughter, is it? Hey, Jason. You're into, oh. Speaking of champagne and bullets, I came home to this thing, which I'll open later. It's a behemoth. I was kind of taken aback by the size of the box, but wow, I'm interested to opening it. John, I've had a bit of a strange week. I've been doing an online course all week at work, so it's been kind of different for me. Oh, Biffer, yep. As you may know, Biffer, you're the only one to have seen that so far, but I felt I should get it to you just so you could see it. I will release it at some point, but I just felt since you wanted me to get to that movie, I'd give you a heads up on that. I'm day drunk, champagne and bullets. Nonsense, it's always super exciting. Thanks. Let's see. Thanks, Simon. It's glad you could join us for the live stream. There's a look here. What's the thoughts on allowing Letterboxd to miniseries to be logged? It's disgusting. It's like things like Twin Peaks: The Return. Like, it's a movie, or is it a TV show? I know you've got a strong opinion, the wrong one, but that's fine. Personally, I think Letterboxd was always for movies, and it should be just for movies. Has anyone watched the amusement park yet? No. No, I haven't even heard of this. You just watched Problem Child. I used to love Problem Child. That was one of those videos from the VHS days, or the rental stores, which I used to rent constantly. I loved it. And I remember how the cover was like Junior holding the parents, but it was also similar to the Nightbreed cover that I saw with the masked serial killer and his arms out. So yeah, I rented that a lot. The advice you gave on 4K players, would you advise the same on 4K players? 4K players, I'm not up to speed. I don't like my 4K player. It is noisy. Whenever I put a 4K disc in, Blu-ray, fine. As soon as I put a 4K disc in, it's noisy, and I need to change it. Look, in all seriousness, did you get the Gamera set? Look, it's right there. I got it when it came out, and it's open. So, we've got that going for me. Let's see, Jason, you watched Humanoids from the Deep the other night. I did not know there was a 90s remake. I mean, the movie came out in, what was it, mid-80s? 84? That seems awful quick for a remake. I have not seen that, but I'd be curious. Was it any good? Would you recommend it? Nostromo 80, you watched the fantastic Giallo last night. Spasmo, I like Spasmo a lot. It's got a really weird twist. The things with the mannequins is bonkers, but yeah, I love the way that reveals itself. James, you've not got your VS haul yet. Yes, they send to subscribers first, and then everybody else gets theirs after the fact. Josh Allen, what part of Scotland are you in? The best part. Okay, that may not be 100% true, but I'm in the west of Scotland. You just watched X-Men 1 and 2 in 4K. Yeah, you're the 4K expert. I know I kind of check on whatever you're watching to see if it's a good quality or not. Good to know, because it's two of the best movies in the series, along with Days of Future Past and First Class. Since Euros are on, favourite sports movie? Look, actual real sports or fictional? I better not go fictionalised, because that just seems a little bit silly. Favourite sports movie? I think I'll go wacky and go Escape for Victory, because it's got Sylvester Stallone as a goalkeeper. You're 18-month-old just enjoyed Starship Troopers for the first time. He's a big Michael Ironside fan. Who's not a big Ironside fan? And Starship Troopers is just one of those movies that holds up tremendously well. What did I watch yesterday? Yesterday I watched The Testament of Dr. Medusa, which I loved, utterly loved it. And I did a review which came out today, and I think it was brilliant. I think one-off like Chernobyl are fair game on Letterboxd. I think once you start allowing certain things in, I think it just becomes a little bit muddied. So I'm on the camp of it's just movies. Movies are what should be on there. Unless they change their whole ethos and they start allowing TV shows on. But then how do you rate an entire show of a TV series? Like, how do you rate individual episodes? That just seems like something I couldn't be bothered doing. Joe, you watched Walking the Edge. Televised terror is a home run. Wow. I know everybody's complaining about the artwork on that. I don't really mind it. I'll see once I open this box that's here. And Scanner Cop 1 and 2 is the best releases of the year. I was looking at some unboxing videos today, because I love that kind of stuff. We're all into our unboxing porn at times. And Scanner Cop, I'm going to show you guys in a video hopefully tomorrow. But it is slipcase heaven if you're into those kind of things, because it is 2 movies in separate cases, both with slipcovers inside another slipcover. Time on BBC. I seen that advertised, and I like who's involved with it. I just wasn't sure how it was going to be. I like to wait until these things are done. I'm not patient. I can't wait week to week to watch the next episode. I need it now. You're going to watch Backdraft in 4K tomorrow. I've not seen Backdraft since the 90s. How terrifying is that? What rental store would I have used? It was family-owned ones. It was like low-key. It wasn't... later on, near the end, it was Blockbuster, because there only was Blockbuster at that point. But for me, it was the more curated, family-owned, smaller ones that just had a better feel to them. The kind of ones where you would get the wacky stuff. When Blockbuster came, it seemed to be all safe movies, so to speak. But the say independently owned, the family-owned ones were, you could get the really good stuff then. Rank these movie vehicles. Okay, I'm going to go last. So Bumblebee is last. Then I will go the Batmobile, because it's just not practical. Then the Ectomobile, because, well, again, it's cool, but I want to be caught driving it. I don't know. And then next, I think I would go the Trans Am for Smokey and the Bandit, primarily because I'm in Scotland and 90% of our weather is rain. I need a roof, and I would go for the DeLorean just because it's cool. Yeah, look. Oh, right. So your 18-month-old wasn't watching Starship Troopers. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. It's good to get them started early. If I had to sell my entire collection except 2 films, what 2 would I keep? Well, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to keep my Hitchcock box set. It was one purchase, one set. It's got movies I just could not live without. And I think I'm going to keep my 4K Tremors movie, because it's Tremors. I would never tire of that one. Yeah. Oh, you haven't seen the Humanoids remake? I'm just curious. 12 years after the original came out, and the original was pretty fun. So I'm curious about that myself, if I can find it somewhere. Let's see. Any binge watched planned? Yes. I've got this box set of Vinegar Syndrome stuff. Probably tomorrow night, and tomorrow I'm going to start, because I got 2 Vinegar Syndrome packages. I'll show you 2 of the titles I got here. I got this Final Countdown, get the glare, 4K, and I've got this, which I'm really excited about, Vigilante. So these are 2 titles that I'm going to watch, along with a bunch of other kind of exploitation stuff that I've got in this box. So over the next weekend, I'm hoping to watch 5 or 6 Vinegar Syndrome Blue Underground titles. Graham, the new Mark Wahlberg movie called Infinite is getting roasted by critics. Funny you say that. I've just watched it. It was it's Antoine Fuqua and Mark Wahlberg. It's fun. It has some good set pieces. It's got some interesting moments, but man, is it derivative of just all those young adult adaptations. It feels like, like Wahlberg he's the savior that has to realize he's the savior to save his people. I mean, it was fun. It wasn't original. Any news on the Wind review? It is actually in the wind. I still need to watch it, so maybe that'll be one I get to. I've got it here. I've got a watch pile of movies here, so it's sitting there. But because it's a region A, I need to wait until I can get time to go and sit in that room and watch it where the player's connected. Favorite Wu-Tang solo artist catalogue? That's a minefield. No, I prefer them together more than anything. Mikey, thanks for the Arrow video post. You're stopping blind buying Arrow titles and getting the streaming service. And it's the smart way to go. I've got, I just have mine up actually. So here we go, and continue watching. We'll just reload this. So the Arrow, like I was saying the other day in a video, like you can, like if I click into Dinner in America, which is awesome by the way, you've got the movie, and then you've got the extras that are going to be on the disc, and this is before the movie gets released on Blu-ray, which is absolute bonkers. The other one, see what else. They've added some new stuff, which looks cool. Duke Mitchell, I don't know anything about that. Does anybody know? So I've been watching the Daimajin series, so jump into that. It's another set that doesn't come out to the end of July. It's on the player already. There's the movie, all the extras. Crazy. Absolute crazy. Did you say... Yes, I have pre-ordered Millionaire's Express. Okay, I have to go with the hybrid cut. It's amazing and will now be your go-to version of the movie. Okay, I'll try to remember that. If I forget, I'll make a post on the communities tab and you can remember, or you can remind me, sorry. Hey, Father Stack. Happy to see you. Let's see what next. On YouTube, Zombie Apocalypse. I can't say I've heard of that one. Let's just throw up. I take it as this one. Oh, no, there's two. Discovery Channel introduces its viewers to a group of ordinary people as they gear up for a zombie takeover. Is 44 minutes? I don't think that's what you're talking about. No. Is it this one? How many? The 2010? Is it that one? Is it the one with Ving Rhames? Yeah, you can let me know. Should the original It and Salem's Lot be on Letterboxd? No. As much as I love both of those, they were TV movies. Joe, you've watched both the Scanner Cop movies. I've not seen them, so how amazing are we talking here? Hey, Movie Database. Nice to see you joining us. Have I watched Female Prisoner Scorpion? No, I have not. But it's one that I plan on getting to at some point, along with a hell of a lot of other movies. It's all 3 episodes of Time are on BBC iPlayer. I thought it was more than that. Yeah, I've not ordered that as yet, the True Romance. I am considering just maybe getting the standard release of that, I think. You're watching Bo Burnham's Inside. I've heard that's great. Looking forward to logging it on Letterboxd. Why not? I think that's fair game. Backdraft 2 is pretty good. No. Your Xbox Series is a decent 4K player, but it doesn't have Dolby Vision, no. So most 4K players tend to be noisy. Yeah, it just annoys me. I mean, I tune it out after a while, but it really annoys me. And I've got a couple of 4K discs coming in. I think I'm going to set up the projector because I've got westerns. I've got the good, the bad, the ugly coming, which I posted that deal, and I've got Django coming, which I got today, which again I posted the deal in the community tabs, and I want to watch them like on the biggest projection I possibly can. I just don't have the best sound system, but I mean, I need to see that. I'd love to see the good, the bad, the ugly on a proper cinematic screen. Have I seen the horror film Don't Breathe? Don't Breathe is awesome. I love it. It's got really great atmosphere, a great plot. It gets a little comic booky and cartoony later on with some of the actions. It's got some gross out moments. I think Fede Alvarez did a great job directing that one. Father Stack, you watched The Tingler the other night. It's great. Yep, Vincent Price is amazing. The idea of fear being a parasite was, yeah, really great. Body Brokers on Netflix is good. Again, it's another one I haven't heard of. Is it a movie or let's see? Let's see. Frank Grillo. Why is he so low down on the cast list? And look, blah blah gave it 4 stars. Let's see what he says. Why can't most Netflix finds be this good? Enlighten me on the terrible drug rehabilitation system in America and still entertaining. There we go. Don't Breathe is a lot of fun. You've heard A Quiet Place 2 is brilliant. Have I seen? No, it's not one that I've seen yet. I want to get to it. It's been a while since I revisited the first one, thinking about it. I know it's in the cinema and I can go and check it out if I want. Unfortunately, made the poor decision of watching Spiral instead, which was, well, wasn't great. The 18-month-old who's watching Starship Troopers. That's the main thing. As long as we get that tied down. Have I watched the Marlene Dietrich box? No. There is 3 of the Indicator boxes I've not watched as yet. The Wonderful Worlds of Harryhausen, Volume 2, the Marlene Dietrich box set, and the Bloody Terror, the Norman J. Warren box set, are the 3 sets I've still to get stuck into. I just finished watching and reviewing all of the Columbia Noir 3 movies this week. John, honestly, the transfer of the 4K blows that studio release out of the water. It's crazy. Robert Forster is the man. I think that's pretty definitive. And there's James up with... Let's see. I'm just seeing if I can find it on YouTube. Oh, there we go. First one. Oh, well, look at the creatures. Interesting. They made some of Infinite in Cardiff. Cool. I mean, it's fine. It's nothing amazing, but I need to go and check the reviews now. I'm super interested to see how they're crapping on it. Now the final countdown in 4K, that's what you're at. I've heard mixed things about this. This one, I love the kind of cover, and I think it was under about £26 or something from Vinegar Syndrome. Look, when will I release the marathon? I've not even started work on it. In September, Luke knows that I filmed my first ever marathon, which was crazy. I've ended up with about 9 to 10 hours of content, and I just can't face editing it. If I was in furlough, I may have started it. I need to get to it. Yeah, I do need to get more Preminger. You know, both Laura, Anatomy of a Murder, I absolutely loved them. They were 5 out of 5 movies for me. I need to get more. Let's see. You've been wanting to see Massacre Mafia style for years. I think you can do the free, the free trial. So let's see. Dinner in America is awesome. Just saying. Oh, it's got an introduction to Duke Mitchell as well. See, I've never heard of this one, but it has me curious. And Blu-ray Scott. Let's see. Hi, Graham. I know you love classic movies. Watch the Eric von Strain silent movie, Greed. Worth a watch. Haven't heard of that one. I will add it to my list. What if Arrow started doing Arrow player only extras? I don't think it would bother me. I don't tend to watch too many extras. You know, video essays I love. Commentaries I wish I could listen to more. I need to get into the habit of ripping them and listen to them while I do other things. But I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see, where are we? I'm getting behind on the chat. Do I collect movie scores and soundtracks on CD or vinyl? No. Now, as much as I love movies and as much as I collect them, one of the least knowledgeable parts of my movie watching is soundtracks, scores, and music in general. I am oblivious to them a lot of the time. I can pinpoint one that's awful because it sounds out of place, but if one is good and doing its job, it's so I get lost in the story and what's happening that I don't notice them as much on a first or second watch. I was talking to Luke about this the other day, how scores are something that I need to get better at identifying and listening to. Mark, what's my favourite all-time guilty pleasure? You know, I really do not like the term guilty pleasure, because if you get pleasure out of it, should you feel guilty about it? What I will pick out is movies that I think are generally slammed that I really enjoy. The American Pie movies, not the ones that made it to the cinema, but the direct-to-video ones. These are the ones that I watched way too many times, and I still go back to them, and I still love them. Now, let's see. So, seeing that I reviewed a Lang film earlier, curious what my favourite Fritz Lang movie is. Now, I haven't seen enough Fritz Lang's, so let's see if I can just bring up his filmography and go through here what I've seen. So, M, Dr. Mabuse, Scarlet Street, Dr. Mabuse, Women in the Window, Thousand Eyes of Dr. Mabuse. Let's see. If I was to pick one, I think it would honestly be The Testament of Dr. Mabuse. I thought that was awesome. Utterly just delightful in every way. I loved all the performances. And it's the best of his Mabuse trilogy as well. If I could only watch movies from one decade the rest of your life, which decade would it be? 80s. It's the one I've seen the most movies from, so there's not going to be a lot of surprises, but it's the era that I love and I grew up watching. Have you watched the fan film sequel to Black Christmas? It's Me, Billy. No, I haven't. Fan films are something that I struggle a little bit with. I find them, they get a little bit too much fanfare for what they are. Now, that being said, I thought the Friday the 13th one, the first one, was really good. The second one was a bit of a disappointment. I don't know, is this available on YouTube or anywhere? Because I would maybe check it out. The Scanner Cop films are among the tippy top releases from VS. Absolutely incredible. So I'm really looking forward to these Scanner Cop movies. I don't know what to expect, but I am excited. You keep your TV series separate from your movies, but miniseries and TV movies get put in with your films. I don't really have any TV series at all anymore. I used to have a lot with DVDs, but I kind of stopped doing that with Blu-ray, and I just haven't continued that at all. There hasn't been many TV shows that I have wanted to revisit that I couldn't get my hands on. Like just now, when I'm bored or stressed or I want something easy to watch, I'm actually watching My Name is Earl, which I think is great. There we go, 4K cinema. Scanner Cop 1 and 2 are a lot of fun. The special practical effects are great. All hail practical effects. You got the double Vincent 4K set. Yep. James, thanks for the heads up on the Django set earlier. Yeah, it's a great deal. I was super happy to see that appearing. Now, it might take a bit of time to get here because somebody said that the global store can be pretty slow. But as long as I get it, I'm happy. We've got Biffer with another ranking question. I love this. Favourite bald actresses. Okay, last place. Millie Bobby Brown for Stranger Things. Then we've got Demi Moore. Third, we have Natalie Portman. Next, which would be second, would be Sigourney Weaver. And top of the charts is Charlize Theron for Fury Road. Luke's up with his favourite Lang is Frau Amond. Luke has seen far more Lang than I, so I would take that. Andre, have I seen Giants and Toys? No, but I've got the screener disc through. Arrow very kindly sent me that one, and I'm ashamed to say that I just couldn't get to it in time for release, and I just kind of forgot that I had it. I will get to it though. I'll prioritise it now. M is the best Lang film you'd seen so far. I would say it was my second favourite until I watched The Testament of Dr. Mabuse. Andy, you own Duke Mitchell's Massacre Mafia style on VHS. It was called The Executioner. Yep, they're just happy with the Lang conversation. what's a movie that most people don't like but I enjoy? Has everybody come around to Speed Racer yet? I love Speed Racer. I thought it was wonderful, but everybody just crapped on that movie. Like, I'm sure the appreciation levels on it are going to turn at some point, but I mean, you can tell me if that's still rated poorly. I love that movie. I want the 4K of Speed Racer. You went to see Quiet Place 2. Great show. John, how did it rate against the first one? Would you say better? Worse? You'd seen Scanner 1 or 2 either. You watched them both with your dad. He's pretty much art house or break, and he loved them. Both preferred the first one. Good. The big heat for me is my favourite line. Glenn Ford is fantastic as always. I like Ford. He's great. And there's Luke with the kudos, because I I managed to say Harryhausen without the hesitation. And that is because, and I'll tell you the story because why not repeat myself? Back in the days of the 80s when I used to watch these movies, there was no frame of reference. I just read this name out of magazines and I'd be like, oh, I want to see those movies. And I always said to myself, it was Harry Hussein. And growing up, I've had the biggest bother being able to move away from that. Harryhausen. Did I pre-order my Indicator Noir box set for? Yes, Andy, I jumped on it yesterday. I had some money sitting in my PayPal, so I just got it immediately. Can't wait. Doug, sorry if it's been mentioned, but there are some great deals in Arrow boxes on Amazon and Zavi right now. You got the Camera Obscura box set. I was quite curious about that one. Blabbat, did I do a review of Boss Level? Watched it the other day and loved it either way. The final countdown is good and you love the ending. Not one you would watch again though. Yes, I reviewed Boss Level. I think I seem to be one of the few people that really enjoyed it. Everybody else kind of crapped on that one. It was fun. Super violent. Directed by Joe Carnahan. Awesome. I loved it. Okay. Bye, Paige. Oh, by the way, I've got your movies that I'll be sending on to you because that's in that Vinegar Syndrome package. You just got Anatomy of a Murder today. Brilliant. You are in for a treat of a movie. Now, where am I in the chat? Because I am lost. Do you think the William Graffey collection is worth $39.99? Zavi's selling it for. I'm tempted. I paid $50. I felt a little bit burned by it, although the set was interesting and it was good to look at movies from that time with that kind of budget and the kind of lo-fi nature of making them. I can't see me going back to too many of those movies. The book was great, but awesomely, I feel a little bit burned out on those movies, which is why I didn't go for that new set that came out, the Bill Rebane one, because I just felt that the Graffey collection kind of burned me a little bit. It's your call, of course, but the movies are extremely hit and miss, more misses than hits. The final countdown is an old-fashioned yarn, almost like a TV movie, still very enjoyable. I'm curious. I think I've seen it before. I'm pretty sure I have, so I'm looking forward to going back and checking it out again. Greed is amazing. Hope they release the full version one day, but it's probably a lost film. On that one, it's the Heisey era. That's just the better. Arrow's vinyls are great. I can't start on things like that, like vinyl. I'm bad enough with this. You guys, I'll make a video at some point, but the place is getting out of hand with, you can't see the stacks everywhere, but we're hitting breaking point. M and Metropolis are Lang's best films, but you just love Frauenmond and Die Nibelungen. Greed was originally around 7 hours and much of it's lost. All that's left is 2.5 hours. Wow. Have I seen The General with Brendan Gleeson? No, I haven't. And what do I think of John Moorman? I love Boorman. Excalibur all the way. I think it's amazing. More people should talk about that movie. Clockwork Orange, Gravitation, released in 4K in 2021. Yeah, I'd probably pick up most of them, maybe, at some point. Shawshank Redemption really just gets crapped on now, doesn't it? Which is a shame, because I love it. Yeah, the Friday the 13th fan film is on YouTube. I didn't like the winter one, the second one that came afterwards. I felt it was just not as enjoyable. Hey, Peter. Yeah, I love those kind of exploitation movies. Death Race 2000 is terrifically just weird and quirky and low budget, but kind of awesome at the same time. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that one. Not so much the remake. Do I have a top 10 list of favourites? Mark, I've been working on this for a while. In fact, I was talking to Luke the other day about having top 10 favourite movies, and although they're kind of tied down, I feel that they're fluid, they're always moving. I don't have like a solid, this is my favourite movie of all time. On a given day, it can change. It's something I want to do a proper video on and move on to and put it out there. So I may do it in some form, but I've got a feeling it'll be more than 10. A lot more. What's the absolute best silent film restoration transfer I've ever seen? Let's see. Some of them have been absolutely outstanding. You would never have tell. Some of them have a little bit of flaws in parts of them, but it's just I think the Golem was particularly like a great transfer. Not the best silent movie, but I think it was possibly one of the best transfers I'd seen. Mark, you love My Name is Earl. Yep. I know of the Trailer Park Boys. I've just never watched it. Okay, it's me, Billy. It's free to watch on YouTube. Have I seen the trailer for Netflix new He-Man? He-Man. He-Man. No, just need that little hyphen in there. No, I have not. I think it's Kevin Smith not got something to do with it. I do have a separate section for the few TV shows I own. So let me ask you this. Look, is it series you own, or is it like mini series that you've got mostly? You love My Name is Earl. Good. I'm glad to see I'm not the only one. And you just picked up Tales from the Crypt complete series. I've got 1 to 5 from the old American DVDs. I used to import them back in the Black Star days, I think the website was called. And yeah, those are amazing. I would happily buy them in Blu-ray. The global store is pretty good. You ordered a bunch of Scream Factory sets and they arrived just over a week later. Cool, because my Good, the Bad, the Ugly was sent yesterday. So hopefully next week. Let's see what we've got. I'm pretty sure Eureka said we wouldn't be doing the spiders at some point, sadly. Let's see. You haven't even heard of Speed Racer? Blah, blah. You watched it in the cinema and walked out. So I take it Speed Racer's still hated upon. The one Kino has is... are you talking about the... I hope it's not The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. I'm so behind in the chat. A lot of people are coming round to Speed Racer. It's a lot of fun and looks great visually. A lot of people coming around to the last Wachowski film, Jupiter Ascending. Eddie Redmayne's performance in that is just bonkers. But I love the world building that they do. Let's see, Razorwire. People need to reassess Cloud Atlas. Let's see what I gave Cloud Atlas. Five stars. Look, there we go. 5. I was a fan. And let's see if it made my, it's out in 2012. Maybe it was 2013. See if it made it onto my top 10 list. Why have I got that there and that? There we go. Right, there we go. Look, my number 2 movie of the year that came out. There we go. I'm just looking through my top. I've got top 10s for most years on Letterboxd. That was my top 10 of 2012. Cloud Atlas, number 2. I liked it. Yeah, I'm lost. Go blah blah. Cloud Atlas was brilliant in the cinema. Indicator are apparently doing a new Harryhausen box set of all his works, including the stuff they've already released. Jupiter Ascending is abysmal. Peter, you like Cloud Atlas, but it's a film you need to be in the mood for. Yes, I would agree on that. It is kind of dense. You need to be attentive and kind of working with it a little bit, but it's so enjoyable. Hugo Weaving as the Nurse Ratched of the movie is just so much fun. More Cloud Atlas love. There's a £10 code floating around for Zavi if looking to get the Greffy collection. Also 15 code if you spend over 60. There we go. Where am I going to store my huge Vinegar Syndrome haul? Do I have space? No, I don't have space. In fact, it's spilled into cardboard boxes right down here. And it's the Vinegar Syndrome one that's ending up in the boxes. I did a video before about space and what I was going to do. Well, it seems as though I'm just not slowing down, and now it's just getting stored into boxes. And I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with it at all. People just hate Shawshank because it's popular. It's excellent. Yeah. Well, the people that hate it, I hope the sisters pay them a visit. There's John. So you're going to hold off in the Greffy set. I hate putting people off movies, but ultimately it just wasn't, I don't think it was really for me. I appreciated it. I loved the documentary, but it's not got rewatchable. Captain Howdy, The General is a great film. I know Brian Lomax has talked to me a few times about that, said it's great. Favourite vampire movie? Sometimes you just need to go with your gut reaction. What pops into your head? And although there are movies that I can say are better made, one that I get the utmost enjoyment out of, one that I've seen the most, is The Lost Boys. I utterly adore it. And watching it recently, it holds up tremendously well. I believe the 4K is coming next year for the 35th anniversary. Wow, could be 35 years anniversary. And I cannot wait to get that. your dad introduced you to a series called V. V's not from the 70s. V's from the early 80s. Because I saw that. Robert Englund as the good guy with the visitors. V is amazing. I would kill to get V on 4K. I think it's one of the best things out there, one of the best TV shows ever. I love the miniseries. Terrific. And Luke's TV shows, Breaking Bad, Firefly, Batman 66. Am I waiting for any transfers to 4K? I would like a Speed Racer. I really would enjoy that one. I want to pick up 300. Again, I'm happy to wait for it to drop. Beetlejuice, I want to get. I'm curious to see what Blue Underground are going to release next, as well as Vinegar Syndrome, because they're releasing some bonkers ones. I would really love a Deep Rising 4K to go next to my Tremors, because I love that movie. Okay. Well, I'm on to the end of season 3 of Arrow. So Titus, it's a gem of a comedy show. Never heard of that one. Blah Blah wants Panic Room. Do you know, I would be really interested in a True Lies or an Abyss 4K, because I really want to revisit the Abyss at some point. Let's see, I'm getting lost again. Did I not remember what I thought of it? Or did I look up for it? I did that for effect. How was my acting? Was it good? I knew I had put it pretty high that year, and I just wanted to show that I've always loved it. If you want to watch an amazing Brendan Gleeson movie, you can watch I Went Down. In Bruges is amazing. I love that film. What's the worst movie or one of the worst movies to ever see in the cinema? Yours has to be The Last Airbender or Dragon Ball Evolution. Yep, I will tell you exactly what the worst movie is, and that was Monsters Dark Continent. I loved Monsters, and its kind of can-do attitude of low budget but great effects, a story done well. The sequel had nothing to do with the first one. They shoehorned in the Afghanistan war, and they just made it crap. I hated that movie, utterly hated it. I wish I could just wipe it from the face of the earth. I've heard The Good, the Bad, the Ugly is pretty great. Captain Howdy, best vampire film ever is Vamp. You love it so much. I was talking the other day to someone, and I was saying how Vamp has got to have been some sort of influence on From Dusk to Dawn. It's a bar full of strippers. They're vampires waiting to feed on their patrons. People have to fight their way to safety. It's almost as if Tarantino was writing a kind of gangster movie, flicked through the channels, saw Vamp and thought, aha, let's just have some of that. The music in The Lost Boys is fantastic. Yes, yes. V scared the crap out of you as a kid, gave you nightmares. Yes. Diana was so freaky, wasn't she? And then when they ate the little gerbils and stuff, it was just weird. I remember watching it in the 80s and loving it. And then Michael Ironside appears as well later on. I think it's the second miniseries, The Final Battle. And there's John mentioning Ironside and V as well. Biffer's back with another ranking. Oh, iconic cops. Right, okay. I'm going to, this is surprising me where I'm going here, but I'm going to put Keanu Reeves last. Second last will be Francis McDormand, I guess. Third is Dirty Harry. Second is Bruce Willis in Die Hard, and the first most iconic cop is RoboCop. Can you fly, Bobby? Let the Right One In is your favourite vampire film. The original and the remake is just unnecessary. The remake's fine, but it just takes just enough out to make it not make as much sense as the original. Okay, Mark, have a good one. Enjoy work tomorrow. Yeah, you were saying that the other day, John, that you bought the Logan Run TV series, which is a video rip. Shamrock Balls. Will I be getting Basic Instinct? I'm seriously considering it. If I have the funds when it gets released, I think I will, because it fits into that adult thriller, giallo almost kind of big budgeted thing. It's been a while since I've seen it, and I'm really looking forward to going back to it. Lost Boy rules, and From Dusk Till Dawn is great as well. Yeah, I've heard that. Apparently, the Abyss really messed Ed Harris up, and he refuses to talk about any of it at all. Mr. Gage, what did I think of Lake Mungo from Second Sight? Yeah, I've done a review on it. I actually go through the Blu-ray disc and the extras, which is pretty good as well. I think it's a great package. I think the movie's bloody marvellous. And if you possibly can, if you don't want the packaging with it, just wait. There'll be a standard release. But if you can, go into it knowing as little as you possibly can. Ed Harris nearly drowned in the documentary. If you're interested in The Abyss or Cameron at all, Razor Wire Reviews, look, if you haven't been over to his channel, should definitely go there and join up, subscribe. He did a whole Cameron season where he ran through his filmography. It's wonderfully put together, highly recommended. The only film you fell asleep in the pictures was Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And there's Luke there. The Abyss features one of the most gut-wrenching pieces of acting you've ever seen. Vamp is underrated. And goodbye from Mark. 4K Wish is Pete Jackson's early stuff. Bad taste. I believe Arrow's releasing The Frighteners. Brain Dead is the one that I think everybody wants. I'd even take Meet the Feebles, to be honest. But I believe he has been working on 4Ks for these for a little while. And there's BJ London. I Still Believe is an outstanding song. And it's a cover as well. Yo, Adam. Oh, Mark's back. Have I ever seen Visiting Hours? No. If we're talking 80s vampires movies, you have to go with Bigelow's Near Dark. It's a great choice. Like, I can't fault anybody else's choice of these. They're all great movies. And there's, look, that can't be right. Tarantino would never crib from somebody else's movies. Watched Highlander 2 the other day. Michael Ironside taking control of the train had you in stitches. The film is so rubbish, it was brilliant. I have no idea how Highlander 2 got made, but I love that we're living in a world where it got made. I always remember Connery and Lambert discussing how many bullet holes they had. That seems to be a strong memory. Tarantino tried to sell the script from Dusk to Dawn to the producer of Vamp in fear he would try to sue him. There you go. You need to put your son down. Yep. Good night, Jordan. Thanks for joining us. Andy Martin is the vampire film that really freaked me out. I really want to see that. I can't wait on the Second Sight disc. 4K. I don't know when they're releasing it. I know they've been teasing it from the moment they got Dawn of the Dead. So I'm just waiting patiently for it. Aliens 86 or Predator 87. Predator. I'm not the biggest Aliens fan. It's not a movie that I've watched a lot at all either. I know there's various versions, and it's just a movie that I've only seen a couple of times. There's a grey market Blu-ray release from Spain of True Lies. Quality's better than the DVD. It's got to come at some point. Jackson's working on a Beatles documentary. Visiting Hours is a great slasher. A slasher with Michael Ironside. Sold. Absolutely sold. Let's see. You believe Dusk to Dawn was supposed to be a Tales from the Crypt movie? Wow. Right, okay. Let's see, you've got Shamrock Balls back. Glad to hear that. You'll definitely be getting it. It's a great film. You feel it for Verhoeven's love letter to Hitchcock. Yep. You just don't know whether to wait until the price comes down. Yes, that's the thing with these kind of movies. I guess it depends on how your patience is. I usually go with, is it something I want to watch immediately? And what's my watch pile like? You know, that's what kind of swings it. Because I know I can wait a few months and get it half price. It'll be in a 2 for 30 or a 2 for 20 deal at some point. So it's just one of those ways. And here we go. Highlander 2 is bonkers. Yes, that is in all the right ways. And I wonder what kind of rating Highlander 2 has. 1.9. That seems fitting. In the first 20 minutes, I was aghast at how bad it was. There really should have been only one. There we've got blah blah. The film is so terrible, it's brilliant. Yeah. I would definitely check that out again. Okay, people, let's see, what's my channel's email address? manvfilm@gmail.com. It should be on the About page on my channel. You can contact me through there if you want to. Guys, I've had a great time just chatting with you, talking about movies and all kind of wacky stuff. I will be back again with another live stream. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next time. So